What's up, everybody? It's PicklePod. You got Thomas Shields, Tyson Apostle. You know the drill. We're pumped to be here. It's actually a pretty packed week. I wrote the newsletter yesterday. It was one of the longest newsletters ever. I had to cut it down because Gmail was automatically cutting it for people.
Wow, you were trimming it.
Yeah.
This is the thing, Thomas, is a lot of people don't know this about you. They do know about the newsletter,
Yeah.
I think. But you stay up all night Wednesday writing the newsletter.
I've done that before.
Yeah. Because initially when you were like, we can never record the podcast on Wednesday mornings because I am spent because I have to stay up all night Tuesday to get the newsletter together and then push it out.
I also am usually a direct result of procrastination and not planning accordingly. But yeah, it does happen sometimes.
I mean, that's built into human DNA. Procrastination is, right?
I also work better under pressure and deadlines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a great motivator for me, as it would be anybody. So I actually sometimes prefer that.
Yeah, I like to get my stuff done, but if it's like too much of a stuff, then I do wait till the end. Like if it's like, okay, you just got to make a phone call, I'll do that immediately. But if it's like, you got to file your taxes, they're not getting done till April 14th at midnight.
Yep. Yeah. So is April 15th like tax day? Should I know that?
Yeah, I think it is.
But also down in my life skills notebook.
Yeah, don't take my word for it 100% because I always defer my taxes because you can defer them for like a small fee till October. Yeah, so I usually just defer them till the middle of October. So I just barely paid all of them. Also, before we really get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, I want to apologize for my mustache, which only if you're watching the visual version of this can you see that it's partly growing into my mouth. My other podcast, which is Survivor based, I had to deal with my co-host that we would grow our beards for like we were trapped on an island for 39 days. So I'm about 3 weeks in and I've got a few more weeks. And this is like where it gets tough. So
is there any sort of competition associated with that? Or is it just like, let's see who can do better?
It's not, let's see who can do better. It's my co-host has never grown a beard before. And he's a little bit younger. He's like you. And we started podcasting about Survivor. And I was like, let's do a challenge. Because Survivor is typically 39 days that you're trapped on the island without being able to shave and stuff. So I was like, this season, they're only doing 26 days. They shortened it for COVID and for whatever other reasons. So it's only 26 days because they spend days quarantining before. And I said, okay, let's grow our beards for 26 days because you're going to see at the end of 26 days, it ain't no thing. But a 39-day beard is super gross. And so we're almost to day 26 and he looks like a little bit of scruff. And if I didn't start with a mustache, I'd be fine too. But at day 39, that's when you can start signing up for gross beard growing contests.
Got it. Yeah. Cool. All right. Want to talk about pickleball?
I do. That's what I'm here for.
So despite yesterday being like one of the most packed days, like news-wise in pickleball, today there's even more news coming out from two of the biggest players in pickleball. We can start off with that.
Okay. I do want to start out with that. Who are the two biggest players?
Major League Pickleball and the Professional Pickleball Association.
Okay.
Two of the biggest.
Okay. Two of the biggest. Major League Pickleball being brand new, you're still labeling it one of the biggest just right off the bat.
I think it has a high growth potential. I'm really excited about it. And the news today is a testament to that. So we can start off with that. So
okay, let's hear it.
I just got an email from them and we just released the news that the finals, which will be on Monday, November 8th, will be aired on CBS Sports Network live.
And we're commentating for it?
That part, I'm still negotiating. And by negotiating, I mean, maybe we make another pitch on this podcast and then they let us know if they listen to the podcast.
Okay.
I think we could make that happen though. I think that's a possibility. I'll actually propose it.
You propose
get that
it
in motion
because maybe it's in the fine print somewhere in the email they sent you too that you just overlooked. But regardless, let's get the wheels in motion because I can't think of a better team to commentate than
We could definitely do a Pro Pickleball Association tournament, some of those matches.
mhm.
For Major League Pickleball, I actually think I'm going to be like filming, and it's more like everything's
No,
packed into. So
you
I don't know
you
if I'll
have
be able
somebody
to.
else film for you while we commentate.
Sometimes you just got to do it yourself. I feel like
You
I feel
sound
like
like
I've
my
got the
dad.
magic
The
touch.
only way it's going to get done right is if I do it myself. You do have some pretty magic film skills. So,
Thank you.
yeah,
It's tough to delegate sometimes, you know?
it is. I need you to live closer to me so you can come and film me playing pickleball.
I don't want to do that. I would
Why?
not film you play pickleball.
Ever?
No, I'd want to play.
Yeah, but you do both on your breaks because you're going to need a break after I Ernie you, you know?
Yeah. Oh, we brought it up again. Good. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be aired on live TV, big network, CBS Sports Network. And I think that's gonna be awesome, and that's exactly what this sport needs. I think just going back to our conversation from last episode, you know, the talking about growth potential, the growth potential for pickleball is very high, but these are the things that need to happen. Organizations like Major League Pickleball need to make moves like this to really elevate and push the sport forward. So I think this is huge news. And I hope more stuff like this continues to happen because this is going to be awesome.
Can I ask you some questions about Major League Pickleball?
Yeah.
So
I'll
what
do
we're
my
going to
best
see
to
on
answer.
what we're going to see on TV. So there's 8 teams of 4 players, 2 men and 2 women on each team. I'm assuming they're playing men's doubles, women's doubles, and mixed doubles.
Yep.
Right. And then they're using some scoring system to determine which team wins.
If there's a tie, there will be a singles playoff. So singles ability does matter to a degree.
So singles is like the kick, whatever the soccer one is, where everybody on the team gets to try and kick a goal.
Yeah, the penalty shootout. Yeah,
not the penalty shootout, the tiebreaker.
Yeah, but it's a
right.
Yeah, it's a penalty.
Is that what it's called? Okay.
Yeah. Or there's 2 different things, right? And in like soccer, for example, there's sudden death. You play like 2 halves usually, and then you go to a free kick or a free kick shootout or whatever.
Yeah, that's what where each team has a player kick a goal at each side, and then they go until somebody scores.
Yeah. So little known thing about the sport of lacrosse is in tournaments, a really popular way to settle a tie game was you select one player on your team and your goalie, and you're in the whole field, the whole lacrosse field. Goalies are in the net. The 2 players you've chosen, or each respective team has chosen, do a face-off, and then whatever happens. First team to score wins. It's wild. It's called Braveheart.
So why isn't that just the sport of lacrosse? They cancel the team aspect of it and just do like singles lacrosse with a singles and a goalie.
I don't know. Good question. You should propose that to the powers that be.
Okay. Because when you were saying like the lacrosse, this is how they determine it. Immediately I thought, oh, they're just going to go by whose collar is popped higher. So
nice.
Did I get them?
Yeah, nice. Roasted all of lacrosse. Very good.
So, but now I like that. I would tune in for that for sure. Okay. So singles. So what are we going to see on TV? Are we going to see is the entire thing going to be played out in a matter of hours, or is it going to be days long? I think
it's going to be over Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So originally 3 days. These finals are going to be broadcast on Monday.
Okay.
So I'm curious as to whether they are extending it a day to facilitate that. I'm not sure. We'll find out. And when we do find out, we'll add it to our blog, which is live on the dinkpickleball.com right now, where you can, just kind of keep track of everything that's going on with Major League Pickleball.
Okay. I like that. I'm excited to see it and see how it plays out. I'm hopeful that they keep the same teams in the future when they do future events here, rather than keep shuffling it up, because you're not going to grow any affiliation to a team and get like team gear and stuff if they're switching players and doing a draft every single time.
Right. I want to have my team and paint my face and like care about how they do every season.
Correct. And then and then you can, negotiate or recruit or trade or something like that. But they have a window. So I'm assuming that's their plan, because that's the smartest way to do it, is the way I think. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right. In some other breaking news, if you will. So the PPA is starting to announce the celebrities for the Franklin Pro Am hosted by Randall Emmett and Lala Kent, which is happening at the PPA Masters in Palm Springs in November.
Okay.
And the first celebrity who's being announced is Natalie Ava Marie.
Okay.
Look her up on Instagram, listeners. Look her up on Instagram. She is a wild person. She's like a stud from WWE SmackDown. She's an animal. So that's the first one. She's a pretty big name, depending on what type of media you consume. So if that's the first one, I'm excited to see who else they add.
How many are they adding?
16 total. So the way it'll work, there will be 16 teams. So 16 celebrities, each paired with a PPA contracted player.
Okay.
They will be divided into 4 groups. Those 4 groups will each have a round robin. After that, the top seeded teams will go into a winner's bracket. The bottom ranked teams, or the bottom seeded teams, will go into a loser's bracket. The winner of the winner's bracket wins the whole thing.
And it's going to be a celebrity paired with a pro.
Yeah, a PPA contracted pro.
That makes sense. Are they, so like, let's say like Ben Johns is a PPA contracted pro. Are they going to try and pair him with the worst celebrity to try and even up the teams as best they can?
I think we'll see. I'm not sure how they'll do it.
Or a drawing or something, because I feel like that that's going to make for the best fun, right?
Yeah, I would bet that they want the finals. Well, I don't know. I would bet that they want the finals to be competitive, so they probably won't do like best pro.
Oh, so they'll do the best pro with the second best celebrity, and then the second best pro with the best celebrity.
Yeah, there will be some thought given to that.
I'm the best.
There are like pro tennis players who are going to be in it. I can't say yet, including well, yeah, I can't say yet, but
don't say.
Yeah, so there will be some like real talent. Like some of these AMs will be like legit players. So
they'll have a background. Okay, because I was going to say I'm probably the best true celebrity-ish player out there. He looks like he would be a lot of fun.
I've been watching his clips. He's pretty good.
We follow each other on Instagram. You and I should make a trip out to play with him at some point.
That'd be fun. Matt Manasseh can hook that up.
No, I can hook it up myself.
By the way.
Yes.
Speaking of Matt Manasseh, this would be a good little segue.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wild. He was playing pickleball with Drew
Brees.
So, he was the quarterback for the Saints for forever, won a Super Bowl, absolute animal athlete. And watching the match, I don't know if they play, but was George W. Bush and Jeb Bush?
I have some insider info.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Please share.
Okay, so George W. Bush was there, and Jeb Bush were there watching Matt Manasseh, Pickleball McNasty, play with Drew Brees. George W.'s son-in-law is a big pickleball fan. I actually did an interview with him. He's a journalist. I did an interview with him for Vanity Fair. Yeah, which is coming out in November. I
didn't know who he was during the interview.
I didn't either.
And he goes, yeah, my family, like they're public figures, so I know how some. He said some sort of anecdote, and I go, okay, and I Google him like while we're on the phone.
Yeah,
and I realize he's married to one of the Bush daughters.
Yeah, I Googled him after
but he's got a couple of podcasts. He's kind of like he's got a little following, himself. So I think he's really good.
And Andy's also done some acting. So I stay in touch with him a little bit, and we'll probably at some point when our paths cross, we'll play some pickleball. I know they just had a baby a little while ago. I don't know if that's public information, but we can strike that from the record if we have to. So congratulations to him, but also I think that's the connection. So I'm assuming that he probably introduced the Bushes or vice versa, but pickleball is in their family.
Yep. And they were out in Maine for a finance conference. So
finance.
that's why they were all there.
Yeah. Except for Matt.
Well, that's what, so Matt goes, yeah, like I was like, so why, like, how'd this come to be? And he was like, oh, like a finance conference. And I was like, okay, that doesn't entirely explain it, but like,
yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't explain why you were there, Matt.
Yeah. I'm sure Matt is like a really successful venture capitalist on the side. So
yeah, that's what he does as a hobby. That's so good.
But yeah, so that's those are two of the kind of like breaking news items we had to cover here.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, I saw that. I was excited. I mean, you're just seeing more and more people in the sport and getting excited about the sport. And the top news item here too.
What?
I've got one.
You've got more? You've got more news?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of Tyson Apostle.
Heard of him?
He just finished his year-long contract, his 12-month contract with Gamma Pickleball, and has re-signed for another year.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're a free agent. I was going to be like, that's kind of savage. But
the anniversry of the year is tomorrow, and the start of the new 12-month.
Congratulations!
So
sounds
very
like
happy.
They liked what you delivered. So that's.
Cool. I hope so. I think so. So we'll see. I'll just keep delivering the goods. You know me.
Gamma's not a nobody brand, so hey, other brands out there that don't conflict with Fila and Gamma. Maybe
no, that's not what we're about here. I just that is some pickleball news. So before I announce it on my social media tomorrow on the anniversary, I thought I would give everybody a little sneak peek here.
I like it.
So, yeah.
Wait, I had a point to make.
Uh-huh.
You kind of sparked something in my brain. I was just going to say, so with all this stuff happening in pickleball, if you're a former tennis player and maybe you don't really like your job or you don't like your trajectory or whatever the hell you're doing right now, why aren't you looking at all the money flooding into pickleball, all the developments happening, and the fact that there's like a finite number of pickleball pros right now? There's not that many.
Yeah.
And say that's a real opportunity and commit yourself. Go take, however many months, make a run at it, see if you can be a top pickleball pro. And, if it continues its trajectory.
Yeah. Who knows? The sky's
sort of like a once in a lifetime opportunity to do something like that, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's harder than you're making it sound, even for someone who comes from a tennis background,
and I'm not saying anybody could just come in and do it, but I am saying,
somebody with a lot of paddle or racket experience.
Yeah.
It might be an easy transition. And I do agree. But also like a lower level tennis player is still making more money than a top level pickleball player. So if you're on the tennis circuit, then you would never right now, currently probably. And then if you are retired or have not made it on the tennis tour, and you've settled into a different job, can you leave that job? Do you have the time? Do you have the energy? And sometimes I come from professional cycling. I was a professional cyclist. I swam in college. So I mean, humble brags. I was quite the athlete. I have no desire to be a pro athlete again. I don't want to travel like I used to. I don't want to put in the time I used to. I don't want to have to be physically fit at the top of my game. There's a lot of pressure there to be a pro athlete. And the fact is that it's fun to be a pro athlete when you're on top of your game and everybody's excited about you. But if you get injured, if you get sick, if you are struggling for some reason, it's mentally exhausting as well as physically exhausting, and it's demoralizing. And to hinge all of your success on the one talent is also a balancing act. So There is more to it than that, but I do agree that this is an opportunity for people who have the desire and drive to hopefully shift or capitalize on the talents they already possess.
Yeah.
And so that you're pleading with former professional paddle and racket sports players to
Yeah.
give pickleball a good look.
Yeah. Well, so we wrote a blog on this. We put it in the newsletter too, but Dave Weinbach was commentating on a broadcast on a pickleball match, I think in Orlando. And he kind of just brought up, somebody had been asking him, hey, what's the future of pickleball look like? Is somebody going to unseed Ben Johns, for example? Like, is new talent going to come into the sport and are there going to be more pickleball pros? And how would that happen? And his response was, as this sport grows, it becomes more known. There's more money in the sport. There are going to be these tennis players who are sort of on the outskirts. They haven't made it in tennis. Maybe their career is coming to an end. And they look at pickleball and they say, there's an opportunity here. They transition and there's going to be like this massive wave of tennis players. Personally, I hope that happens. I think former high-level tennis players have a great foundational set of skills that translates well. And if they just put a little bit of time in, I think they have the best chance of anybody to really make a good run at going pro. So I hope that happens. I hope Dave is right, but that was just kind of like a prediction he made. And
I think I don't know. Do you have more thoughts?
No,
right there?
no.
I didn't want to step on your toes, but I think also not just coming from other sports and stuff, but you have these kids that are playing now at a much younger age. You have these guys that are starting pickleball at 8 years old, 12 years old. By the time they get to 18 years old, they're going to have way more experience than Ben Johns currently has. And there's probably kids who started playing before Ben Johns started playing pickleball that are still much younger than him, that are still developing. And so I think that we're going to see talent in the sport that we've never seen. And whatever we're watching people like Riley Newman and Ben Johns do right now, we're going to see these kids when they're all of a sudden 16, 17, 18 years old doing things that we didn't even envision as possible as far as ball control, movement, shots, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that is, it's part of the trajectory of the sport, but as you're introducing people to it at a younger and younger age, you look at like some of these tennis pros where, the Williams sisters or even Tiger Woods in golf, where it's like their parents took them at 2 years old and were like, we're going to teach you to play tennis before you know how to walk. And that's what we're going to see with pickleball. We're going to see a Michael Jordan of pickleball emerge somewhere in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Tiger Woods is the greatest example of that. Would literally like sit in his garage in his high chair and watch his dad hit golf balls over and over and over again. And that is what he knew from day one, ultimately became the, best golfer ever. So.
Yeah. And he turned out great.
He's fine. He's making it. He's making a comeback. Everything's going to be good. Come on. Don't.
No.
Tiger's coming back.
And who's to say that Tiger's not going to get into pickleball?
If he did,
he would be the Tiger Woods of pickleball, literally.
Yeah. Because he's a nutcase. He's one of those guys that like, okay, if he wants to set out to do something, he commits to it. So.
Right. And he's, you see it in all sports. These guys that are at the top of the game for so long are so particular about every single thing and all of those marginal things that people overlook. They are taking care of everything. So even if you're gaining 0.5% in your game to spend 10 hours a week doing something, they're doing it.
Yep. It's like you and growing a great head of hair.
Yes. Every single day, I put the time in, and it looks a little homeless today, but that's the price you pay. And even though I only committed to growing the beard out for 39 days, I thought, because I was going to get a haircut, and I thought I'm just going to keep the hair growing for at least 39 days too. Plus, for some reason, TV always comes calling when my hair is the longest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like one of your things.
It's one of my things. Although the first time I was on Survivor, I had hair as short as yours.
Yeah, I remember that. I've seen those pictures. You keep posting them. You were a lean, mean fighting machine back then.
That was right when
of you.
Yeah, that was right when I came off of pro cycling and then had moved into some ultra running. And I could probably do 20 pull-ups in a row with a 40-pound belt on.
Hold on, say that again.
20 pull-ups in a row
with a 40-pound belt.
With a 40-pound belt on.
That's really good.
Yeah, and
that's really good.
And now I can't even do probably one.
Because I try that sometimes. You put like a little weight between your legs or put a weight belt on, try and do pull-up.
Yeah,
not easy.
Not easy.
A lot of influencers do it, and I'm working on being an influencer. So
you're getting there.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. All right, let's talk about some of these topics from the newsletter. So we led with in our happening section. So for those who don't know, again, subscribe to the Dink newsletter, thedinkpickleball.com/sign up. In our happening section, we always cover like all the biggest news from around the world of pickleball. So the lead story this week was that the USA Pickleball Rules Committee finally voted on the Zane serve and rally scoring. So with the Zane serve, it was unanimous. 6 out of 6 votes voted to make an amendment that would basically declare the Zane serve illegal. So it would
all
no
forms
longer
of the Zane
have
serve.
Sorry, say that again.
All forms of the Zane serve, rolling it off your paddle and spinning it with your other.
Yeah. So I think it was already illegal off the paddle. At least everybody had transitioned away from that.
Yeah.
So I think there was some sort of rule change. But now, yeah. So you can't use your paddle hand to put spin on a ball. But really, it's you have to one, you can't like conceal the ball, which sometimes Zane would have his back to the court.
Yep.
And then the other is you can't add any additional spin to the release of the ball. So
even Morgan Evans' serve is now deemed.
I think I'm saying this wrong. No, because the way I read it, Morgan Evans' serve is safe. And honestly, that's what Zane is about to transition to. And I think a lot of people are going to transition to that. Everybody was working on perfecting their Zane serve, but now they're going to go to the Morgan Evans.
So the Morgan Evans serve, he puts spin on it with his non-serving.
Yeah. So I think it has to do with the paddle hand.
So just coming off of that hand by itself and not concealing the ball.
Yeah. Here, I can read the let me read the official language, and then that'll kind of give us our answer.
Sure. Unless it's like 17 pages long with 35 amendments.
No, the good thing is
it's nice and concise.
Yeah. And a rare change for the pickleball bodies or the pickleball powers that be. It's concise. So the server shall use only their non-paddle hand to release the ball to perform the serve. So that's the line that effectively just kills Zane's serve right there.
Okay. Yep.
The server's release of the ball must be visible to the referee and the receiver.
Yep.
In matches without a referee, the server's release of the ball must be visible to the receiver.
Okay.
So you can see how that one will kill using the paddle hand to add that spin.
Yep.
But Morgan Evans, who uses his paddle hand, uses his offhand to add the spin. That's still going to be fair game. And I wrote in the newsletter that the rules committee has won the battle, but they're still losing the war on these deceptive, creative serves that kind of just wreak havoc. I think there was that one tournament where Morgan Evans had 26 aces, which is just kind of wild. But
yeah. I picture Zane sitting in his bedroom at night while his girlfriend is asleep, flicking the ball up with his non-paddle hand, trying to get maximum spin, figuring out how to, by like the snap of the ball or something, getting maximum spin on it. And I'm excited to see it, honestly. Are we going to see the pros transition to that right now because it's already been voted on? So are they going to maximize their little bit of time they have left with the Zane serve?
It's a good question. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But Zane did like he did like a post-mortem Instagram selfie video where he like basically was like, rest in peace to the serve. So it sounds like he's probably going to move on to something else, but he could, I think, till 2022, whenever they actually enact the new rules, he could get away with it. So
in Zane's video, did they have Sarah McLaughlin playing over?
She should have in the eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try and sing that. But, yeah.
But we just needed enough for everyone to know, and you got it right. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so the other part of that was that they voted on rally scoring and they voted not now. So rally scoring had actually gotten through the first round with the International Federation of Pickleball. So,
which is a thing.
There's three steps. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they have like over 60 member countries. So
yeah, that's cool.
Pickleball is in a lot of places people don't realize. But there's 3 essential steps. So number 1, got to pass through the IFP, the International Federation of Pickleball.
Okay.
Then it goes through the USA Pickleball Rules Committee. 6 people on that committee. They vote. If it's if it passes, it goes to the USA Pickleball Board of Directors. And honestly, like they have all the power, so they can make up a rule out of thin air and enact it, or they can decide or vote on what comes through that process.
Okay. I have a proposition. Rally scoring in singles only, and get rid of the double bounce rule also in singles only.
I like it. Good proposition.
Yeah.
Are there any sports like that where it's like two very like in tennis, it's obviously not like that, but are there any sports where it differs depending on?
Well, I mean, tennis does have the doubles lines.
Mm-hmm.
So it does widen the court a little bit. And which, I mean, the court does seem narrow in pickleball after you've played a bunch of singles when you're playing doubles. But I think they should try it in singles because singles is exhausting, and an accelerated game, I think, would be maybe. I don't think people get necessarily ultra exhausted from doubles all the time. And so I think the level of gameplay we're seeing is the right amount, and we're seeing tons of exciting rallies, but you do see a lot of people lose a lot of gas in singles. And when they all of a sudden are discouraged, it's pretty much game over as they are pouting and tired and cramping or whatever. So I think you heard it here first. This is the hot take. Singles only rally scoring. Double bounce, I was thinking we need to get rid of if we're going to do rally scoring. But we need to experiment with it because maybe we keep it as well.
Yeah, I do like your point about like exhaustion in singles. It also would have an impact on like a championship Sunday, for example, where like Anna Leigh Waters is playing in the singles final, and then later she has to play in the doubles. Women's final, and then who knows down the road if she's in the mixed final too, and they all fall on the same day. It's like, well, geez, like that third match is going to be a grind.
Brutal. So. Yeah. And I think that, and then I think we're going to see, we would see a lot more exciting rallies, because then in singles, you're really, really, really fighting for every point, and you have the energy to fight for every point because the games are going to last, a third of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if we'll start to see more like specialists, right? Like, there are already players who only play doubles and don't play. Like Riley Newman is a great example of like a double specialist.
Yep.
But I wonder if that tennis is like that, I think, right?
Yeah. Tennis is like that. Yeah. The singles guys don't play any doubles hardly at all. Ever.
Yeah.
And then the doubles specialists are real specialists at the doubles game. I think we will more. And I think if you did something like that, even more so.
Probably be to your advantage.
So, but, yeah, I mean, put me on the rules committee, because what I just came up with there is genius.
Put us both on the rules committee. We are
we're on the rules committee now, and then we're also commentating. Yeah.
Yeah. We just got hired twice in one podcast.
Pretty cool.
It's cool how we can get hired without them having any input on the matter.
Yeah.
All right. So the next thing was actually our guy JB, who does a lot of the writing now for us in the newsletter, which has been awesome.
Yeah, I call him Jabes.
Old Jabes. Helps. He's never met JB. Tyson's never met JB.
No, but I came up with a cool nickname for him.
Helps me not have to stay up all night on those Tuesdays, right? Because I've
Shout out Jabes.
Got another soldier. We have other people who help us out, but JB does a lot. And his line for in the newsletter was pickleball invades big media. I really like that line. So that entails pickleball on the Live with Kelly and Ryan show.
Yep.
Where Colin and Ben were on that. There was on Vanderpump Rules, which is the reality TV show that birthed Lala Kent and like I think her whole career. I mean, maybe she did stuff before that. I don't want to make assumptions. But her and her husband Randall Emmett, they're hosting the Celebrity Pro-Am at the PPA Masters. They are cast members and organized a pickleball tournament for all the cast members to play on an episode of Vanderpump Rules. So it's a Bravo TV show.
Yep.
That aired Tuesday night. And then the Joe Rogan Experience. He had a comedian on who was talking about pickleball, and then they pulled up, pickleball on the screen. They had a whole conversation about it. So it was cool to see pickleball in the spotlight on multiple pretty big platforms.
Yeah. I mean, we've got cable TV, sure. And then we've got major network TV morning show, incredible. And we've got the Joe Rogan podcast, one of if not the largest podcast group in the world, I think.
Yeah, it's the biggest podcast in the world.
Also a Spotify, moved to Austin, I think. So pretty cool. And I think that we envisioned that, Thomas. We envisioned that happening as we joined the sport and grew excited about it and knew that as people experience it, they too will fall in love.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and then so for the for the Live with Kelly and Ryan, I was a little confused about the purpose. Was it supposed to be, hey, here's the #1 doubles team in the world? Like, this is so cool. Or was it, what the heck is pickleball? Was it Kelly and Ryan trying to learn pickleball? And it was sort of like this, what am I watching? But they went out into the streets of Manhattan and they played like a quick match. They were really constrained for time.
So was it only the pickleball audience that would have enjoyed seeing what was happening?
Yeah. I mean, Kelly and Ryan are there to entertain. So they make anything, like fun and
sure.
And enjoyable for their viewers. But it was probably like,
what was the purpose? They didn't have a purpose as they went into it. And so they just slapped a thing together and did it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, so I have zero opinion on it other than it was exciting for pickleball.
Yeah, it was great. And so this woman, Sarah Aiken, I know she does a lot in pickleball. I don't know like if she works for any one company, but apparently she had a friend who is like works on that show, lobbied him for years to get pickleball on it. Finally happened. So shout out to her.
I saw her post in a bunch of forums that she was the one that got it on there.
Yeah. So
she was very willing to take credit immediately.
Yeah, but it was good, and we need people to do stuff like that. And so I want to give her a shout out.
Yeah. I mean, why not? She deserves it.
I think there was, there were some people who thought that Kelly and Ryan didn't treat Colin very well because
they needled him a little bit, didn't they?
They were like, look at Ben, he's #1, and look at Colin, he's just #1's brother. And had they done even a little bit of research before that segment, they would know that Colin is very talented in his own right. I thought it was funny. I thought Colin played it off really well and was like a trooper through the whole thing. But a lot of people were complaining and they were like, that was kind of like rude and do your research type of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I did see posts about that too, but it's, it
It
is
is
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
And that's what, your teammates to world number one. You got to assume that he's getting the limelight and you are
Yeah.
second fiddle. And you just, just Colin, wait in the shadows, wait for your time to strike and then take number one.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
A
Just
little,
can you
that'd be,
can you just imagine him just like always sitting there behind Ben, just with like staring daggers at him, waiting for he's like uh Simba's dad, and then who's
Scar.
then Scar. Oh, I just got a cramp laughing.
You loved your own joke so much.
So much
your
that I
body
cramped
started
my
cramping
hamstring.
up.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I was telling you. You got to stretch your hamstrings.
I know, dude. And I've had sciatica before, so makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably because I drank coffee without any water this morning, which is dehydrating me.
Yeah. Yes.
I usually drink a liter of water before I get going, but today I didn't have time because I was running around getting the kids to school. So anyways, yeah. What's Simba's dad's name? I forgot.
Scar.
No, that's his uncle. That's the bad. Scar is the bad.
Oh, Mufasa.
Mufasa. So Ben Johns is Mufasa.
And Colin Johns is Scar. Good.
That's in my
He's gonna like
pickleball.
that. That's
in
good.
my that's in my pickleball fan fiction. That's
Scar is also like an all-time villain. I mean, he killed Mufasa.
I mean, I don't know. Colin, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you cramp your hamstring while laughing at the analogy, then my job is done here.
All right. That was funny. Next topic. So Leigh and Annalie Waters sign with Octagon Management. So I mean, they legitimately join, like they're now represented by the same people who represent Giannis Antetokounmpo, or however you say that. Steph Curry, Simone Biles, Michael Phelps, a bunch of golfers, a bunch of hockey players, a bunch of baseball players. So kind of wild. And I was gonna reach out and ask them, like, how'd that come about? Did they come to you? Do you have some sort of relationship? Are they looking at pickleball and saying, hey, we need to sign some of these players because something's happening over here? They'd be smart to do that. But I would be curious if they are, because if they are, that's another big, legit presence in the world of sports saying, okay, pickleball is something is happening here, and we gotta strike while the iron's hot. So I thought that was awesome news. So congrats to those two. I think that's huge.
Yeah, no, it is huge. So, and it just shows still, it's a testament to the trajectory of the sport with that. And yeah, I'm excited to see it. Also, I mean, I think we talked about this last time where is Leigh Waters that she's the younger one.
Leigh Waters is the mother.
Mom. Annalie Waters
is the daughter, 14 years old. Yep.
Yeah. So when she was playing with Kyle Yates, she was actually taking up more of the court, I believe, right, than he was.
Yeah. Who was telling us that? Is that Irina?
Irina was telling us that.
Yeah.
And then I also noticed with Callie Smith and Tyson McGuffin that he was also not crossing center court hardly at all.
No.
And
yeah,
I like that. I think that we're going to see more and more of that. And I think that, yeah, and Callie was sneaking shots down the line past Jay to force him to stop sneaking over too. And I think that as doubles partners are, watching places to exploit the open court, it's going to, keep everyone a little bit more in check.
Yeah.
So, well, congratulations to them. And hopefully they're getting that Michael Phelps cash because, same representation. Why not?
Agreed. I think they should be paid the same as Michael Phelps. But yeah. All right. What's that's everything we got from the newsletter. I want to hear about what you've got planned, and what's next for you as far as pickleball goes. Like, are you going to be at any tournaments soon or anything like that?
am going to be at some. I like I said earlier, I just re-signed with Gamma, so I am definitely going to be at the Gamma Classic next year in August. I am hosting a Gamma sponsored tournament at the Legacy Sports Complex in Mesa, Arizona at some point as well.
What's that called? Do you know off the top of your head?
I do not.
It's in an email somewhere. Okay. I think I want to say that we might be involved in that, but I'm not.
You should. But Legacy is the new like 41 court complex that has tournaments every week. So I might
PPA
go.
is going to have a tournament there too.
Yeah, I think in January or February. And so is the APP. Like there's multiples probably. So I'm going to go there and I'm going to host that tournament. So I'm now being host of tournaments as well.
Will you play?
It's hard to play and host is the issue.
Is it though? I feel like you should play.
It is hard to play and host because I like to spend time with the players and the people there. And that usually constitutes me playing 6 hours of pickleball with anybody who wants to get a game in with me. And so like, I'll literally be on the court from like, as people are done with their tournament, they're coming over and be like, Tyson, can we play a game? And so I like to put my focus there. And it's hard when you're trying to play a tournament and focus on playing the tournament, but also making sure that everyone's having a great time.
Right. Got it.
So yeah,
I like it.
Playing tournaments. I don't have anything planned right now to actually play, but I will definitely be present and showing off my skills at these places.
Cool.
And then, you know, as the pro tournaments are rolling through, Mesa, which is coming up, all the Arizona stuff's coming up in the winter. I will be meeting up with my different professional friends to create some content and have some fun.
Cool. Okay.
So, and that's it. I think that's it right now on the pickleball front.
As far as tournaments go, so we've got the Hilton Head Open. It kicks off this weekend. So
that's an APP.
Yeah, I think the pro stuff kicks off today. Like, I don't know if this.
Yeah, I've been seeing a bunch of posts about. I've been seeing a bunch of posts about it happening. So I don't know if it kicks off today or what, but I have seen a lot of Hilton Head posts recently.
Yeah, this is one of those APPs where you know, you get a lot of people for even like the PPA players will play this one. It's one of the well-regarded tournaments. It's in the Hilton Head, South Carolina, obviously, and I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good tournament. And the field is stacked. So, you know, you can follow along with the action on the dinkpickleball.com. We're going to be live blogging that whole thing. We'll be posting highlights, doing our usual stuff. And then, of course, you know, you can read a recap of the newsletter on our blog or of the tournament on our blog and in our newsletter next week when the tournament's over. But after that, we've got the PPA championships in Las Vegas. That's on 10. So that's October 21st. So I'll be there for that one.
You will? Should I drive out for it?
Yeah, why not? So I'm going to be there for that tournament. I need somebody to play with. I would play in 5-0 or pro. Who, if there's anybody who's thinking about going over there, or maybe you and I play.
That's what I'm saying. Should you and I go play?
I like Team PicklePod. I'm gonna get some T-shirts made.
Yeah, I will. I'll consider it. When do I need to give you an answer?
I'll be there. So if you want to do it, we can do it.
Well, but if you already find a partner tomorrow, then what's the point of me like trying to work it out? It's October. It's next weekend. Yes. Not this coming weekend, next weekend.
Right. Yep.
Let me see what I can do.
Yeah. But I'll be there, and then I'm playing a golf tournament in Vegas on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'll be in Vegas for a week, which I think breaks like the cardinal rule of Vegas, which is you should never be there for more than like 48 hours. So
no, that's changed now.
We'll see how that goes.
That's changed because people live there in Vegas and stuff now. So it's not 15 years ago. Yeah, definitely. But now there's like families and stuff there. So you can stay as long as you need.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then after Vegas, we have the PPA Masters in Palm Springs, as we've talked about already. But that is November 10th to November 14th. That'll have the Pro-Am on Saturday, I believe. And that should be awesome. But before that, actually, you know, Major League Pickleball on November 5th to 8th.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to check, because if I can make it out to Vegas, I will come play as your partner. What should we play? Pro or 5-0? I'm a 4-5.
Yeah, so we should just play 4-5, probably. We'll get
Okay.
Yeah, 4-5. I think so.
I'll play whatever. I'll go play
Are we
pro.
going to get called sandbaggers if we play 4-5?
No. No. If you're better than me, then we should play 4-5. If you're worse than me, then we should maybe play 4-0.
I'm a low 5.
Okay, then let's play 4-5.
Yeah.
But I don't mind playing 5-0, and I also don't mind playing pro.
I want to get actual matches. I don't want to get just like booted right after.
Okay, then 4-5 might be our best bet.
I think we'll play 4-5, and it's a PPA. I think it's going to be a good tournament with a lot of talent. Like, there's a lot of pickleball in Vegas.
Okay.
Like, if we medal at 4-5, I will be like pumped. That'd be a good win for us. So.
Ooh, now the pressure's on. Oh no.
Only if you commit to it. So
yeah, that's true. Okay, cool. Well, I will. I'll look at my calendar and see if I can make it happen. All
right.
You've got a lot going on, Thomas. Where can we find all of these exploits?
Yep.
You already gave us the link. Give it to us one more time.
TheDinkPickleball.com is our blog, but Linktree. So that's linktr.ee/dinkfam. So Linktree/dinkfam. That's got like everything we have. But yeah, we are churning out way more content on our blog now. We're going to have a new site launching soon. But in the meantime, we're going to have a ton of content on our blog. So if you're sitting at work or elsewhere, you want to read up on the latest in pickleball, that's where you go.
That's where I go. I'll tell you that. And okay, anything else?
Well, where do we find you? What's up with you?
Oh, just my name everywhere. Tyson Apostle. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on. I have a Facebook fan page. All of them have the blue check mark, so you know it's me and not an imposter. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right, we did it.
We did it. Hey, that's my line.
See you next week, guys.
See ya.